What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about that time on the magazine crew where my friend was shot. But before we get into that, I can't start this video without thanking you guys. I try to use every single story from my past in some kind of way that inspires or motivates or encourages you guys. And sometimes I don't think that always translates the way that it is in my mind. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for being so patient with me and understanding. YouTube is a learning process, and while I do not think I am anywhere near the best YouTuber, I mean, let's be real, I'm like a I'm a lowly scholarly maid with a camera. I just want you guys to know that I do everything with the best of intentions, and sometimes it just doesn't come across the way that I want it to. I say something wrong or inaccurate, or I misspeak in every single video. And trust me, a video from 3 months ago that I said something wrong in, I am still thinking about to this day. You guys probably won't remember it, but I'll remember it for always. So just thank you guys. Thank you guys for being so understanding and so patient and encouraging with me. It's because of you that I have the confidence to share my past with you and to share these stories. This channel would be nothing without you. And I am just so thankful for each and every one of you that like my videos, comment words of encouragement, not only to me, but other people that you see in the comment section down below. I have spent the last year just kind of hanging on to my phone to delete hate comments. I'm no longer going to do that. I'm no longer able to do that. I can't keep up with the comments, and it is in my own best interest that I don't. You know, if I am constantly reading these comments, I'm not going to be able to spend as much time as I want with my kids. I'm not going to be able to be present with my family. I'm not going to be able to focus on the content on this channel. So I want to just kind of announce here a little bit that I will not be filtering the comment section as heavily as I have in the past year. I went into YouTube wanting the comment section to be a very positive place. In doing so, it has taken up so much of my time and my own mental health. And I know you guys are going to understand that. So I'm kind of leaving it in the hands of 4 or 5 trusted moderators that I've reached out to behind the scene to go through my comments and to moderate for me, because it's either that or the whole channel goes. And I'm just, again, so grateful for you guys. I know you're going to understand this. A lot of my friends that have channels, they don't read the comments, and I never wanted to do that, but here we are. There's just there's no possible way for me to go through every comment, return emails, return your DMs on Instagram. There's just no way for me to do it all. Again, I know you guys are gonna understand, but I just wanted to let you know, if you see a hate comment or a vile comment, one of the moderators will get it eventually. Please don't respond to them. It's not worth your time or your energy or your mental health. All right, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I was remembering 2 different stories, and I remembered them as one, which is so weird. I reached out to my friends on this magazine crew to ask them, do you remember what happened that night? And I got one of my friends who's like Yoda. I don't know how he remembers this, but he remembered where we were, what city we were in, every single event that went down, and he remembered it in such a way that I was like, wow, how did I forget that? When you're traveling the country with these people, everything was kind of blurry for me. I didn't know what state we were in. I didn't know what hotel we were staying in. I didn't know I was in room number 213. How would you remember that? How, Yoda? Oh, also, I just want to say, if you Google magazine crews, they don't have the best reputation. And I think it's important to note here, this is my own personal account and my own personal experience with a traveling sales crew. Have there been people that have committed crimes across the country while on traveling sales crews? Yes. I was very grateful and fortunate to find genuine people that I am still friends with to this day, people that took their job seriously and actually sent in their orders. And I know some people say that this is a scam. My parents got subscriptions to magazines for years, not just 1 subscription a month, 5 to 15 subscriptions of Maxim every single month for 5 years. I'm so sorry. When you're young, you think you're invincible. So I'm like, yeah, I want to travel the country with strangers. This is a great idea. I don't recommend it. Please don't do that. Think things through. Be safe, okay? So I was remembering 2 different stories, and I'm going to share them with you guys today. We were held up at gunpoint one night, and I remember this night so vividly. So we were in an office. I'm gonna hold this up for reference. We were in an office. It was very, very small. And I was sitting along this side wall. The the managers were sitting on this back wall. This is a wall full of agents. There's a bunch of agents sitting in the middle of the floor checking in, and I'll explain that in a second. I'm sitting on the side wall. Here's the door to the room. Now I'm checking in, which means I'm taking all of my orders, filling out my submit order form, and I have to hand it into the managers so that I can get my paycheck that night. So this day I was actually training one of the new girls. Now, I had been promoted in this magazine company several times. I had made agent, team bitch, and then queen bitch. I did not come up with these titles. They were titles that were already there. That's just the magazine crew lingo. I did not name myself that. I earned X amount of sales in 1 week, and I earned that title. And I also earned a big ring. I no longer have that ring. Lord only knows what happened to that. Anyway, I'm checking in a new girl, and I really like training new girls because it kind of made me work harder because I wanted to show them, you know, how you can make money, and I was just more motivated if I was training another person. You know, it wasn't just like, I have to go to work today. I was really just genuinely passionate about teaching people any skill that I had, so I really liked training. And it was common that if you're training a new person, you give them 1 sale. Well, they don't really get a paycheck for 1 sale, you know? What's that, like $5 to a new person? So I gave her 10 sales. Now, when you're a QB, you have to have at least 10 sales a day. You just have to. But 10 is like the bare minimum, you know what I mean? 10 is like the bare minimum to check in if you're a TB or a QB. So I had 16 sales that I was checking in myself, and I had also given my new girl 10 sales. So she was gonna get a full paycheck that day, and I was also obviously gonna get a full paycheck, just at a higher percentage because I had earned the higher percentage. So I was really excited this night to have her see her first paycheck, and we were gonna celebrate, we were gonna smoke an L, and just kind of party because that's what we did at night. We worked all day and we partied all night. So kind of like the movie American Honey a little bit. I have a video, it's really old, explaining the differences, but yeah, I was checking in. This is a very, very, very crowded office. Now again, I'm on this side wall, checking in my new girl. This is the front door. A couple of guys ran up in the hotel room office. They ran through the store and they had a gun on one of the managers that was a female, and there was 2 other managers sitting next to this female, and there was a really big guy, big shout out to you, you know who you are, standing in the corner. Now, it was a very tense 15, 20 seconds maybe, but it felt like forever. So they had the gun and they're pointing it on the manager. Now I'm on the side, I'm seeing this and I'm kind of just frozen because what do we do, you know? You run from a knife, you charge a gun. So I'm like, do I stand up, or is one of these guys gonna stand up? Like, what do we do? And my brain is like going really, really fast. So one of the big guys that was standing kind of behind where this guy ran in with the gun jumped on him. I was so scared that one of the managers was gonna get shot, or that gun was gonna go off and someone was gonna get shot. So one of my friends jumped on this guy, got the gun from him, and it was just like a very, very tense moment. And the guys proceeded to jump the guys that came in to rob us. They took their shoes, they tied them up, and they threw them on the wire outside of the office. And the guys ran off with no shoes. And my heart was just pounding out of my chest. I thanked the guy that had tackled the guy with the gun, and I was just very grateful because I thought my friend, who's a manager, was gonna get shot, and it was just a really scary moment. And, you know, we kind of laughed that off and forgot all about it. But there were periodically moments on our crew where we did have security or guys that were just there to make sure that we were okay. But you have to keep in mind, it's a group of young, arrogant kids that are loud about how much money they have. That's just an easy target. But because we ran with such a large amount of people, 45 to 50 people, it wasn't something that we were ever concerned about. So this all took place in Virginia, which I love Virginia. This took place in Virginia Beach, Virginia at the American Best Value Inn. And I loved going to Virginia. It was such a cool place. But yeah, that night, I think the guys that held up the managers and everyone at gunpoint, they had seen us come in and out. So I think one of the other agents tried to hire these guys, and they were young also. So they had been to the hotel before, and they'd kind of seen that we all come in with a lot of cash. So let's fast forward to my friend getting shot. So it was not uncommon for Joneses, the lingo, people that didn't sell magazines, people that were not on the crew, it was very normal for them to party with us, sell weed to us, drink with us, and it was a very normal thing to have strangers up in these rooms. It was also encouraged that we hire people, so it wasn't an uncommon thing to have strangers up in the rooms. Well, one night, the weed man had decided to invite a whole bunch of us across the street to party and smoke an L and just hang out at a different hotel across the street. Now, the whole plan behind that was to lure all of us away from the hotel so they could go in and steal whatever they wanted. We had several safes. We had a safe in the office. A few of the managers had safes. So we had big screen TVs. I mean, we would travel and we were so flashy. Every single week, all the agents would buy new shoes, and it was just a very large group of arrogant kids. I mean, I have to call it like I see it. You know, we made a lot of money and it showed. And because we didn't have like electric bill or whatever, we just paid for these crappy motels. Everything else went to jewelry and tattoos and food and shoes and all kinds of things, rings. Everyone was blinged out. So we were very, very flashy about the kind of money that we made. So these guys had lured like 40 of the agents over there, and there was maybe 7 or 8 of us still at the hotel. And I am a toxic introvert. Like, I'm a really bad introvert. So I'm like, oh, 40 of y'all are going across the street. Yeah, I'm gonna chill. I'm good. Because the hotel is always very, very loud when everyone's there just partying. So it was me and one other manager in his room. We had the door open and we were smoking out, listening to music, and people would just kind of walk in and out of all these rooms. And 4 doors down, we heard like yelling and like a scuffle. And then we heard a gun go off. And the guy that I was with is like, stay here, stay here. And I'm like, stay here. 19-year-old Jessica, arrogant Jessica. I heard a gunshot. I'm gonna go run towards the danger. You know what I mean? Everyone at the movies at this point, you're like, girl, sit down. You weigh 90 pounds. Where are you going? What are you gonna do? He has a gun. You're gonna run towards the, what? Everyone during a horror movie, everyone's like, run outside, get away. And then the girl runs upstairs. This is that moment, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna go see what it is. Why, Jessica? So the gun went off a second time. Now I'm really freaked out. And I'm kind of just, there's this motel room. This is our motel room. There's a motel room, right? And there's a balcony right here. So right outside the door, there's a balcony. And I walked outside and I'm like kind of frozen because I heard a second shot. Now I'm just so afraid. Now I'm so afraid that someone just got shot. And I'm kind of just frozen because I cannot walk into a room and see one of my friends dead. So I'm just I'm just stuck there. There's a scuffle and there's yelling, and then I see a couple guys run off. And what had happened was these guys ran up in this room trying to steal from one of my friends, and there was a fight over it, and my friend got shot in the side. You know, and you just don't think that these things could ever happen when you're young. Like I said earlier, you think you're invincible. You think you can do whatever you want. You can live your life free. You can do anything, and you know, you're not gonna suffer consequences for that, but that's fundamentally wrong. And now that I am 30 years old, I see how young and dangerous everything that I did in my life was. Do I regret these experiences? No. But at the same time, I wish I practiced a little bit more caution. Now for everyone wondering, my friend is fine. He was taken to the hospital, had obviously stitches and all of that. He's okay. He was shot like in the lower side, so he is okay. And I'm so grateful that he's okay, you know? We've lost a lot of people that were on the magazine crew, a lot of them to overdoses. I can name 5 right now off the top of my head that I have lost to an overdose. Addiction did play a big role for me on the magazine crew. I was able to find drugs in every city that I had ever been to in my life. I was very bold about going up to strangers and asking for it because I was taught how to sell magazines door to door. Talking to a stranger about drugs was something that I was completely fine with. I wasn't afraid at all, you know, and I'm just so grateful for my sobriety. I'm so grateful that my friends survived that night. And I'm also sad for the friends that I have lost to overdoses. It's heartbreaking how many people that I've lost. And I wanted to make this video, yeah, because it's entertaining, I guess, but at the same time, when you're young, you just think you can do everything, you guys. And I'm telling you, for all of my young ones out there, think things through. Am I saying walk around scared? No. But practice caution, especially when dealing with strangers. I'm gonna end today's video here. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay sober. Don't just travel the country with strangers. Don't do it. And I'll see you guys in my next one.